Leeds United fans, what's happening, you beautiful white supporters? Pull up a chair because your boy's got some absolutely mental news that's going to shake Elland Road to its very foundations. I'm talking about 3 bombshell stories that just dropped, and trust me when I say this, every single one of these is going to hit you right in the feels. Listen up, Leeds faithful. We've got a Dutch vice captain whose future has been the talk of the summer and is causing serious debates among the hierarchy. A Ukrainian striker worth $26 million who could be the missing piece to our Premier League puzzle, and our beloved legendary striker who's just made a life-changing decision that'll have you reaching for the tissues. I'm not even exaggerating here. This is the kind of stuff that gets your heart racing faster than a last-minute winner against Manchester United. We're talking about PSR nightmares, transfer sagas that refuse to die, and emotional farewells that nobody saw coming. But before we dive into this absolute chaos, do me a massive favor. Smash that like button if you bleed white, hit subscribe because we're your home for all things Leeds United, and drop a comment telling me which of these 3 stories has you most excited or terrified. Seriously. I need to know what the Elland Road faithful are thinking about all this madness. You know what? I can barely contain myself here because this first story involves our Dutch defender who's been at the center of transfer speculation all summer long. And the debates about whether keeping him was the right call are getting heated. Are we about to witness the biggest mistake or the smartest decision the 49ers have ever made? Whites fans, brace yourselves for this first bombshell. Holy moly, Leeds faithful! The Pascal Struijk debate is absolutely exploding right now, and I'm telling you, this is dividing our fan base like nothing I've ever seen before. Our Dutch vice captain was supposedly on the chopping block all summer for PSR reasons, but the 49ers decided to keep him, and now everyone's questioning whether that was genius or madness. Graham Smith has just dropped some serious truth bombs about this whole situation, and honestly, it's got me thinking about everything we thought we knew about our transfer strategy. He's basically saying that while Struijk is absolutely brilliant to watch when he's got the ball at his feet, and trust me, we all know those silky smooth passes, there are genuine concerns about how he'll handle the pace of the Premier League, especially when attackers are running in behind him. Here's where it gets really juicy, white supporters. Villarreal were apparently ready to splash serious cash for our Pascal, and this could have been the PSR salvation we desperately needed, but Daniel Farke might have put his foot down and said absolutely not, because let's be honest, finding a replacement of Struijk's quality would have been nearly impossible with the money we had left. Tony Dorigo is calling him superb. Farke labeled him a colossus after that Everton performance, where he was absolutely dominant in the air and composed on the ball. But here's the thing that's keeping me up at night. If we sold Pascal for big money, we could have funded moves for players like Rodrigo Muniz or Igor Paixão. But then we'd need another center back, and let's face it, we'd probably end up with championship level filler rather than Premier League quality. The optics of this decision are wild, Leeds family. Some fans would have been devastated to see our Dutch maestro leave, while others are wondering if we missed a golden opportunity to balance the books and strengthen other areas. Adam Pope and Baron Cross were raising red flags about this situation for months, and the pressure was building right up until deadline day. What's really fascinating is how Struijk responded to all this speculation. That performance against Everton was like a man possessed, winning headers, dictating play, showing exactly why he's our vice captain and why the coaching staff rates him so highly despite the transfer rumors swirling around him. But wait until you hear about this Ukrainian goal machine who could still end up at Elland Road. White's army, hold on to your scarves because this next story is about to blow your minds. Remember all that talk about us needing a prolific striker? Well, Artem Dovik is still very much on our radar, and his $26 million Ukrainian powerhouse could be the January signing that transforms our entire season. This absolute goal machine won the La Liga Golden Boot playing for Girona before AS Roma snapped him up for $26 million. But here's the crazy part. He's already being pushed down the pecking order by Evan Ferguson, and Roma are apparently ready to cash in after just 1 season. Can you believe that? A proven La Liga champion being treated like surplus to requirements. Leeds and Newcastle both had their eyes on Darvik throughout the summer window, but neither could get a deal done. Newcastle needed to replace Alexander Isak and ended up spending $125 million on Nick Woltermaid and Jon Wissa instead. Wow. We brought in Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Lucas Nmecha, but still felt something was missing after losing Patrick Bamford, Matteo Joseph, and Joe Gelhardt. Here's where it gets really interesting. Elland Road faithful. According to Corriere Giallorosso, both Leeds and Newcastle are planning to return with January bids for this Ukrainian sensation. We're talking about a striker who knows how to find the back of the net in Europe's top leagues, and with Gianpiero Gasperini not fully convinced by him at Roma, we might actually have a real chance here. But Robbie Evans threw a curveball into the mix when he said our goal is to avoid January if possible. Though, let's be realistic here. White supporters with our injury-prone squad and the intensity of Premier League football, we're definitely going to need reinforcements when that January window opens. Evans made it clear that they prefer to do their business early, but sometimes the market forces your hand. The frustrating part is we missed out on Harry Wilson on deadline day, which left fans wanting that extra attacking spark, and Darvik could be exactly what we need to take the pressure off Calvert-Lewin and Nmecha. Imagine Darvik in a Leeds shirt, combining with our new signings, creating a three-headed monster that could terrorize Premier League defenses and give us genuine goal threat from multiple angles. This could be the signing that takes us from survival candidates to genuine mid-table competitors, especially if Darvik can recapture that Girona form that made him the most feared striker in La Liga. But before you get too excited about potential January signings, you need to hear about the emotional farewell that's just ripped through the heart of every Leeds fan. Leeds United family, grab the tissues because this final story is going to hit you right in the emotions. Our beloved Patrick Bamford has officially picked his next destination after that heartbreaking mutual contract termination. And honestly, I'm not sure if I'm ready for this reality. Bamford, the man who scored 17 goals in our miraculous Premier League campaign, the striker who bled white for 7 incredible years, has made his decision and he's heading to Major League Soccer in America after Daniel Farke told him he wasn't in his Premier League plans following that 0-0 draw with Manchester United. Our 32-year-old legend is ready to start a new chapter across the pond. The most heartbreaking part? Patrick genuinely thought he might get one final dance with Leeds in the top flight. He said it himself during pre-season. He was hoping for that fairy tale ending where the local hero gets his moment of redemption. But Farke made it brutally clear that after 2 years under his management and barely starting any league games last season, Bamford's time at Elland Road was definitively over. Here's what's killing me inside. White supporters. Celtic and Brendan Rodgers actually held talks to bring Patrick to Parkhead for Europa League football. Can you imagine our former England striker terrorizing European defenses in that famous green and white? But instead, Rodgers went for his old Leicester favourite Kelechi Iheanacho, leaving Bamford to pursue his American dream that he'd hinted of following our promotion. Wrexham ruled out a move. Middlesbrough showed no interest in a reunion. It's like watching a legend being forgotten by clubs who don't understand what they're missing. Patrick rejected a scholarship at Harvard University to pursue professional football. And now he's going full circle, heading to America to prove he's still got magic in those boots and show that MLS can benefit from Premier League experience. What makes this even more emotional is thinking about everything Bamford gave us, the injuries he played through, the goals that kept us up, the passion he showed in every interview where he talked about loving his club. Alan Nixon from This Sun confirmed what we all suspected. Patrick has his sights firmly set on MLS, and honestly, part of me is excited to see him get a fresh start where his quality will be appreciated. Leeds faithful! This is the end of an era that's bigger than just football. Bamford wasn't just a striker, he was one of us. A player who understood what it meant to wear the white shirt with pride, who fought through every setback and always came back stronger. From championship promotion battles to Premier League survival fights, he gave absolutely everything for this club and never once complained about being underappreciated. So here's my final question for you. White's Army, are we witnessing the smartest business decisions in keeping streak and targeting Darvik? Or are we making emotional mistakes that could cost us? And most importantly, how do we even begin to replace the irreplaceable Patrick Bamford in our hearts? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that subscribe button if you want more Leeds United content that hits different, and remember, MOT until the day we die. Marching on together, White's family, through the highs, the lows, and everything in between.